When solving distance, time, speed questions, you need to know some formulas. And to remember the formulas efficiently, first think about what miles per hour means. We all know that this is the way we measure speed as we drive on the highway. Miles per hour is used for a car's speed. The word miles per hour has the following structure. Miles, which is the unit for distance, per means divide, and hours, which is the unit for time, and that's what makes miles per hour. And as we just said, miles per hour is the speed, and miles is the distance, hours is time. So we have this very important formula, d over t equals to s. And then in addition to this, you need to know two more formulas, which is you multiply t both sides. So here's d over t equals to s, and multiply t here, multiply t there. We're multiplying t both sides. T cancels, and you have d equals to st. And then from here, you also divide both sides by speed. So d equals to st, and divide both sides by speed. SS cancels, and you have t equals to distance over speed. So these three equations, this, these are fundamental in solving distance, time, speed problems. So you either have to memorize them or derive it just like how I did it. And deriving is not that bad. If you practice this maybe 4 or 5 times, at some point it will be so natural that you might even be able to do this in your head. In that case, it's the same thing as memorizing. Okay, but let's first write these equations down. So speed is distance over time, and then distance is speed times time, and then time is equal to distance divided by speed. And we'll try to solve this question. Now, when you solve the distance, speed, time questions, it's very useful to make a table for different stages of this problem. So here, John ran and also walked. Okay. So there are two different stories in this question, and for each of those, what you want to do is you want to make a table with speed equals to distance over time. So just write that, speed, distance, time. And then once you have this, just try to fill it in as much as possible. Okay. So we first know that John ran for 30 minutes, then walked 30 minutes, so we know that the times are 30 minutes each. Oh, but here's a warning. Since in miles per hour, the unit is hours, unit for time is hours in miles per hour. So whenever you're using miles per hour, you should try to make the minutes into hours. In other words, there are a few word problems that have units mixed up. In that case, before you do anything, make sure that units match. You have to convert them so that the units match. I should have done it before. So 30 minutes should be half an hour, right? So that's 0.5 hours and 0.5 hours here. Okay, so that's good. And then his walking was 2 miles per hour slower than running. So, well, I don't know how fast he ran, but I just know that the walking speed is 2 less than how he ran. And notice also that here the question says, find his running speed. So actually the x in this problem is the running speed. And walking, since it's 2 miles per hour less than x, you have to subtract. Okay, and then to fill in the remaining spots, that's when you get to use one of these. Now notice that the blank spots are d, so you have to use the formula for d, which is distance is equal to speed times time. So you have to multiply these two to fill this in, and then multiply these two to fill this in, 0.5 x minus 2. And we filled everything in. Now once you filled everything in, then you have to go back to the question and see if there's any equality that you can come from here. Sometimes it says, oh, the two distances are equal, or 2 times are equal. The speed might be the same. Or, in this case, try to spot some number that you haven't used before. So here, he covered total distance of 6 miles. This 6 appears nowhere in here. And this 6 has the unit of miles, so it must be about distance. So it should be about distance. But what is that? Total. Total means you add them up, right? So the distance that he ran, the distance he walked should be added to get you this total. So now you have an equation. You have that 0.5x plus 0.5 x minus 2 should equal to 6. Now we can simplify this. Simplify the left side. You get 0.5x plus 0.5x. 0.5 times 2, you double a half, that's 1. That's equal to 7. And then 0.5x, 0.5x, these are like terms. And you can add like terms. 0.5 plus 0.5 is 1. So you have 1 times x minus 1 equal to 6. Why did I put 7? I was going ahead of myself. Okay. And then add 1 both sides. You get x equals to 7. And therefore, the answer to this is 7 miles per hour.